Serbia against Brazil, ladies and gentlemen. Group A continues, and this is going to be a spicy one. There's a lot on the line here. We are in the Nations Cup. We are in the group stage. We have 28 teams in total that signed up, representing 17 different countries. And yeah, it's going to be a wild ride here. $10,000 of prize money are on the line for this event. So lots and lots of people came back from retirement and others that really put a lot of practice in for this. And it's going to be lots of fun. We have 7 groups with 4 teams each. The first place out of each group advances directly to the next phase of the tournament. And then all of the second place teams within the group, they fight for the final, for the 8th spot. And we'll have a little bit of a mini bracket where we will find out which is the one that advances from them. So it's kind of important that you at least try and fight for the second spot here if you want to have a shot to advance. Right now, when we're looking at Group A, we're actually in a position where Team Germany already claimed first place. They didn't lose a single map. They came into the group as the favorite. They had the highest seed and they just absolutely crushed it. So the Germans already through. They will be in the second phase of the tournament. And now we're going to find out what's happening with Serbia and Brazil. The 4th team in the group is Team Norway, and the blue team actually already played against Team Norway and was able to win that with a 2-0. So that means if Serbia wins right now, they would take that second slot. Then for Team Brazil and Team Norway, it would only be about 3rd and 4th place. So this is an important one, not only for Team Brazil, but also for Team Norway. Because let's say Brazil wins with this with a 2-0, then all of a sudden it's open season. Chaos in Group A would be what we're getting here. Now we have obviously a couple of draft rules as we're coming into it. Right now we have every single hero can only be played once as the rule in draft. That obviously only starts to matter once we're moving into game number 2 and game number 3. But you won't see a hero twice within a match. Right now, the one thing that I also want to point out is that the Brazilian team, big shout out to them again, by the way, for participating in the tournament. Super happy. I mean, honestly, we had some crazy signups that we just did not expect. We have a team from UAE as well. We have 2 American teams. We have the Brazilians playing here too. And all of these matches take place on the European server. Just the only way to do it. It's not possible to make this happen in an offline environment. It's just way too expensive. So we have to do all of this online. This is all, for simplicity's sake, done on the European server. To be fair, plenty of tournaments in the past that took place, let's say, on the North American server, had European teams participating as well, playing cross-server, therefore, and with a ping disadvantage. But that means that when you're looking at the Brazilian team and also the American teams, that they are obviously playing with a bigger ping. For the red team, that ping is around 150. Some of the players actually jumped into the chat just yesterday and talked about this a bit. So they're doing fairly okay here. We'll see if they can take Team Serbia down or not. It's gonna be an interesting one. And right now, I should probably point out that Scorch is currently not playing with the blue team. So most of the teams here have a roster of 5, 6, 7 players, so that they have a sub player that they can use as well. And Scorch played for Team Serbia in their series against Norway, but he's currently not here, so might not have time today. And he was one of the key elements in their victory. At the same time now, though, we currently have a situation in which they can still rely on Last Hope, the former Fnatic player, who's playing on the account Cope. So we'll see how that works out. For our first map, Infernal Shrines, we have already a lot of AoE with Gul'dan, Blaze for the presence on the shrine itself, Oriel then for the heals, and over on the side of Team Brazil, they're coming in with Rhaegar. We have, of course, a very nice damage dealer with Mephisto. That's fantastic for Infernal Shrines as well. Thrall, it will hinge on his ability to stack, and we're going to get a main tank. So triple front line for the red team is what we're going to get in game number 1. And well, what exactly is the blue team now going to put in here? We still need a main tank. A little bit more damage would be nice too. So what's it going to be? Muradin and Greymane. Alright, Greymane trying to secure those kills. And Gul'dan will attempt to soften them up as best as he can. That leaves us with a final pick for Team Brazil as we're heading into game number 1. And we get D.Va! Oh, okay. Leo, Thrall, and D.Va on the front line. So technically, no dedicated main tank for them. Let's see how that works out for the red team. Ladies and gentlemen, our first map, Infernal Shrines. First game in the best of 3 series. Team Serbia against Team Brazil. And on the left side, we got Punisher on Gul'dan, Vecman on Oriel with the Searing Light, Raptor on Blaze. And look at that! Freak got silenced playing Greymane. Yesterday, he was still all fine and dandy. And then apparently afterwards, he got silenced. He's been a bad, bad boy. Cope on Muradin, aka Last Hope. On the right side, we got Sorta Sim on Diva, Pablo Vitar for the Brazilian team with Rhaegar, Silent on Leoric, Shadowfang with Thrall, and Lux on Mephisto. I was actually specifically told by the Serbian team to make fun of freaks, and honestly, I'm always a little bit torn when I see somebody that got silenced, because of course you can get the occasional mega toxic player that just insults everybody on the team and goes crazy, but these days you can literally get silenced for absolutely anything, and it's always been super silly to me. People that run around and complain about people being toxic, I will never understand in my entire life. There's a mute function, you can mute players, you can turn off chat, and for some reason people, even in 2026, still feel the need to run to Reddit every single day and complain about the internet happening to them. So, yeah, I don't know. I will have a flamer on my team and a toxic player over somebody that intentionally feeds any day of the week. Just my personal opinion. I'd rather have a tryhard that is a bit mean than somebody that runs it down intentionally and says like, it's just a game, guys. But yeah, over here we get a kill and it's first blood. Thrall goes down. So Diva gets also attacked and might actually the second one to fall. That's exactly what we're getting. Not a good start for the red team. The Brazilian team, as I mentioned before, with a ping disadvantage that might come into play here. But that's 2 kills against them. And that is not a great start, as I said before. If the blue team wins this series, they would end up second place in the group and therefore secure themselves a chance in the last chance qualifier to move on to the next phase of the tournament. The first place is already secured. Germany, the highest seed German team, has already a lock on the first place. So we'll see how this is going to work out now for the blue team. But they're off to a good start here. I gotta give them that. The 4 talents are ready for them. Lots of aggression, and now Leo down, so that's another kill against the red team. Down at the bottom of the map, hyper-aggression from Team Serbia. I mean, damn, they're coming in swinging here. Really going at it. These guys are out for blood. From start of the game, instantly applying pressure on all of this. Top side, Thrall, yep, sitting tight. Now we have Raptor moving through the top lane, pretty much solo. They try to meet him with Thrall, who's at 7 stacks. And I said it before, and I say it every single time the Thrall gets picked. If you go for Thrall, a lot of your success is going to hinge on your ability to very quickly get at a minimum the first quest reward. If you lock in the second one, then it's going to be absolutely glorious for you. But you need to work those in or you're going to be in trouble as this continues. Middle of the map. Attacks still coming. Obviously, Gul'dan is also trying to complete his quest. Would lose those stacks if he died, so plays this maybe a bit safer than he typically would. But at 25 stacks, it's already looking very good. And that's when the first shrine is activated. Both of the teams with their shaman camp, so no problem there. Bit of a leading experience for Team Serbia, which could be a problem for the red team, considering that level 7 is definitely a reality for the Serbians. Now Diva getting attacked again, and full control on the shrine for Team Serbia right now. They got everybody in play here, looking really good on this, and starting to take the lead on shrine minions, looking at 23 right now. Quest not completed for Gul'dan just yet, but he is extremely close. And with Leoric at the bot lane, it's quite clear that Team Brazil realized that they're not going to win the first objective. So they're just sitting tight, wait this out a bit, and try to properly defend at the top lane instead. Early game, definitely in the hands of the blue team, no doubt about it. So now it's just a question how much damage can be done up here. Gul'dan looking for the angle again, completes the quest. Diva bomb is in, but Diva herself runs straight into the Arcane Sentry and gets sliced in half. Diva gone, 4 kills, 2-0, and now the Serbians are on the move, trying to go for Mephisto first. He's low, eats the Stormbolt, and that's one of the bigger evils eliminated. And they might even be able to eliminate that fort. Now, the minion wave is nearly gone, and there are still a couple of defenders, but they don't care. They just go for it, and they take it down. So that's the fort destroyed, 4.5 minutes in. Team Serbia, lots of aggression from them, and they're looking very, very good on this. For the Brazilian team, this is a setback. They already played against the Germans and lost that series. Team Serbia, they won against Norway. If they now win with a 2-0 against Team Brazil, that would be all they need to take the second place in the group. And they are already on it. So now we have Gul'dan pushing at the bot lane a bit more aggressively. Thrall at least is sitting on 10 stacks. So Thrall got a couple of stacks for himself together. He still needs, of course, 15 more for the first quest reward. But again, that's a goal in sight. At the same point, we have now 7.1 damage for D.Va. 14,000 for Gul'dan, and here come the level 10 abilities. It's a 5 kills 2-0 advantage for the blue team, and that results directly in a 1-level lead, which gives them the early heroic abilities that they're going to use here. Thrall already moving out with the elemental assault, obviously. Stormbolt connects again, and no chance for Rhaegar to heal that out. The blue team knows that they're heavily ahead. Get the Horrify in, and Leoric is dead once more. They are hyper-aggressive, exploiting that level 10 advantage as best as they can with kill after kill, and it's a real problem for Team Brazil. They just can't stop that onslaught. They just can't. Greymane dies, that's the only thing that they get done here, but honestly, it's the first kill. The first kill for the Brazilian team, but they lose 2 of their forts already. It's just the Serbian team coming in, realizing they had an advantage. They pushed at the top lane, went for the first fort, got themselves an experience lead that led to early level 10 abilities. And from there on out, they just went on an all-out assault, starting to take down hero after hero, structure after structure. And now we have 2 forts eliminated at the 6.5 minute mark. So, yeah, there's that. But, well, we get the Ancestral Healing. We have also Earthquake in play. Bunny Hop for D.Va, Durance of Hate. So now the blue team can technically fight back and see if they have a chance with the newfound dynamic to make their way back into the game. They're 2 levels behind roughly. Here comes the Entomb. Leoric gets no friends over here. Instead, he gets killed again. Thrall is trying to get some stacks, but they're in trouble. The team is not properly synced up here. The communication for the Brazilian team is honestly a bit worse than what we've seen in the last series from them. So we had some random ults more or less thrown out. With proper synergy, I think they could have been able to get a kill or 2 here. But now Thrall is gone, Rhaegar dies, both of the orcs are eliminated. And Mephisto, even with him dishing out a lot of damage, is on the run again. The blue team bunkering up in the mid lane, and now with the help of the next minion wave that comes through, engages on the fort and tries to take out the final outer structure of the red team. And they take it with ease. So they take this down. They have a level 13 talent advantage now, which gives us the Dark Bargain. And we have also mirrored him with the Bronze Beard Rage. And Greymane is instantly on the objective and works on the next Punisher. And this time we're talking Mortar Punisher. Now for the red team, this is a bit awkward. They should actually try and fight this because, I mean, I guess that their goal is to fight on even talents. The issue is simply they're so far behind. I'm not so sure that's going to be realistic for them. It's 14 against 12, so if they are waiting for 16 versus 16 talents, that's going to be real dicey. I mean, I suppose they want to have just a defense on level 13 talents first, but you lose the Punisher, and you really allow your opponent to go for a big push through the bot lane. Now they're pressuring the top lane too, which means that we have catapults and shamans now moving through. Bit of a delay here on the objective, intentional, to line everybody up in the middle of the map. 11 kills to 1. You gotta give it to the Serbian team. They're doing a great job with their coordination here. And now they're rotating as one towards the top lane, getting easy kill against Mephisto, which is obviously the main damage dealer on the defense side. So now this is going to do maximum amount of damage in the middle of the map. 15 to 13 in a few seconds. D.Va is trying to at least get explosion value and does some. Takes the wave down for 1, but they are going to lose more and more ground as this continues. This keep, for example, likely gone. Mephisto back in 2 seconds, but they are suffering already. 14,000 damage for Mephisto is all that he was able to get in so far. Gul'dan is nearly twice that amount at 28,000. And now here comes the Horrify. They go for the attack again. Leo with the Entomb though, but the Aegis gets dropped quickly by Beckman, saving Gul'dan. And in comes Gul'dan with a big damage. The keep is gone. They try for Mephisto again. Everybody on the run. D.Va was looking to get a kill on Blaze and just couldn't. She dies, and all of a sudden it's Leo, Rhaegar, and Mephisto gone. The core is wide open. Team Serbia goes through Team Brazil like hot butter through cheese as they wipe the entire team off the map and go for the core. That's game. The lead for Team Serbia in the best of 3 series as they are taking the W on Infernal Shrines here in Group A of the Nations Cup. GG and well played. I hope all of you are enjoying the Nations Cup. We have an awesome event going on right now and it's lots of fun. Please keep in mind though that events like the Nations Cup, like the Bounty Cup and Meta Madness are only possible through private supporters, through Patreon supporters, and through partnerships that we have on the channel, campaigns that we're doing with them. And right now we actually have a campaign going on that will last for quite a bit of time, and you can right now support the channel for free by just investing a couple of minutes. It's really just taking a moment. All you gotta do is follow the instructions in the description of the video, download Opera GX through the link that you can find in the video description, and then use the browser to watch a couple of YouTube videos, maybe watch the live stream, or just some general browsing. It's already supporting the channel immediately. Again, it's a very nice browser as well. It has an integrated VPN, which is of course super helpful. You have a lot of themes going on that are targeting gamers and lots of other features. Just experiment with it a little bit, use it in your daily for a bit, and that's all you got to do to support the stream. It's super easy, super fast, takes a minute or two, and you support not only the stream here, but also future tournaments that we're going to host. So I would really appreciate it if you could use a couple of minutes of your time to do exactly that. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and enjoy the rest of the tournament. Gun of Terror, map number 2. The Serbian team is in the lead against Team Brazil. Game number 1 ended a little bit abruptly. You could already tell that the Serbian team just wanted to move out. They wanted to go back. They wanted to head, well, not home, but back out of the opponent's base. And all of a sudden, they just got that connect and multiple kills. And they were like, wait, guys, we just won the game. So let's go and take that core down. Good for them. Reminder that all of the heroes that were played on the first map cannot be played again, so that's 10 down. Doesn't make too big of a difference right here, but once that we're heading into best of 5 matches later on, this obviously has a bigger impact. Even if it's just a 3-mapper, it can, but for the audience at least, it means that you guys don't have to watch the same heroes being played over and over again. Now, as they're going through the bans, I also want to give a quick shout out to everybody supporting the stream on patreon.com. Again, guys, it's the best way to support the stream by far, and it's one of the reasons why we could host tournaments for such a long time now with the game. So thank you very much for all the Patreon supporters over there. It's really appreciated, and thanks to you, we've been able to host tournament after tournament ever since Blizzard shut down HGC. So you contributed a lot to that, and so yeah, thank you very much, and it's really, really appreciated. Especially because, again, as I said before, on Patreon, I'm actually not really the social media guy, so it's not a lot of posts over there, but we are hosting event after event, so that's the more important part, I suppose. But yeah, thanks for the trust, and thanks for the continued support. It's appreciated. And again, if you want to become a supporter, you can check out the link down there. There's also a link in the description. We get a Falstad play, and we get Samuro. Alright, interesting early picks here. Now this, ooh, Lucio as well. Greymane was already played. Lucio, Greymane, or even Sylvanas, but she's banned, can be brutal when we're talking about a big map like Garden of Terror. But just a Falstad pick alone is already great for them. So Frequent Flyer as the level 1 talent should be the choice here, and this can help them a lot. Like late game Falstad, I personally, nice, they ban Abathar. So that's a really good choice given the Samuro pick. Late game Falstad, I love when they go on a big map like this for Epic Mount after getting a lot of stacks on the level 1 and just push these lanes out and play the macro game. Obviously, Mighty Gust and Wind Tunnel are just such huge talents that oftentimes it ends up in just being an upgrade on 20. But now with Garden of Terror, Samuro, Zagara, so a lot of push power that they have. Technically, they could go Nidus as well, but the ban on Abathar makes sense. It's very annoying on a big map like this to see Samuro plus Abathar against you, and they can just take structures down all day long. So we get a double pick for the blue team to round out the draft here. We still need our side laner and our main tank. Typical comp that we're getting from the blue team. And, well, we go for Arthurs and we got Diablos. So side lane Arthurs, who's going to be boosted a bit by Lucio, helping him to engage and disengage. Whereas for the Brazilian team, again, there's a lot on the line here. They go for Ophia and they need to win 2 in a row now. Again, no main tank. Wow, that is quite the play. I mean, they did it in game number 1 and with limited success, I'd say. So now they're trying it again. No main tank for them. The front line is Samuro Rexa. Ooh. Let's see if that works out for them. Ladies and gentlemen, map number 2, Garden of Terror. It's a bit of a wild draft for Team Brazil. I did not expect them to go without a tank again in map number 2, but, well, let's see if this is working out for them. The Serbian team in the lead in the best of 3 series. Over on the left side with Vecman on Lucio. We got Cope, aka Last Hope, on Diablo. Freak on Junkrat. Punisher on Falstad. And then Raptor, last but not least, on Arthurs going into the trade build. And over on the right side, Team Brazil. Sordasim is playing Ophia. We got Pablo Vitar on Brightwing, Shadowfang on Rexa. I suppose Misha is operating as the main tank here. Lux on Samuro and Silent on Zagara. So a tankless front line pushing into Diablo Arthurs. That is wild. Now, we'll see how the Brazilian team is going to try and play this. This is definitely going to be a tricky one. I'm honestly wondering how exactly, especially Zagara is not going to play this. Because if you go more and then combo that off with Ophia, you can obviously try and execute a couple of wombos. But maybe with the way that they're drafting, they are really thinking about going Nidus and trying to play more of a macro-heavy game. I'm honestly a little bit torn here. I think a main tank for them would have been the proper choice, but we'll see. We have Frequent Flyer on level 1 for Falstad, so that was about to be expected. It's a big map, a lot of opportunities to go for minion waves. And then when we're talking Ophia, we're getting the Growing Nightmare. And yeah, they gotta deliver here. They really, I mean, this is match point. This is match point right here. And from Team Serbia, a 2-0 victory would be the dream. If they can pull that off, then they are second place in Group A. So right now we're getting Internal Hunger with a couple of stacks. Frequent Flyer obviously is going to be the big one as this continues. And Diablo, bully that he is, instantly pushing the Fruit Fly into a wall. We need a little bit of a fly swatter for him for the proper animation. Falsa is all alone at the bottom of the map and he will need some assistance. Diablo comes through to try and help him out because, yeah, that's something that the bird alone just can't handle. It's just too much. So they're pushing the Siege Giants around a little bit. Good for them. Lucio is just annoying the opponent as much as possible. Comes in, has a bit of vision, sees if they're trying to take a camp here as well. Misha already looking for a stun, but Vecman is just being annoying as he can be. And I mean, for good reason, that's exactly his job here. Scout a little bit, make sure that the opponent knows that they have somebody breathing down their neck, and it's working quite nicely. So right now we got Punisher starting to push through here. Again, the attack through the middle. Careful, though. He's a bit low. But Lucio is coming in and is starting to help out. Not a single kill so far. We're having the first seed spawn as top side. Samuro is now trying to claim a couple of camps as well. Arthurs is going to a much more aggressive play right now, heading straight into Icy Talons, which usually means Rune Tap on level 7. And of course, given the fact that we don't have a proper tank on the other side, there's absolutely no reason for them to not be more aggressive with Arthurs in his build. None. Especially since he is the side laner already. Oh, Zagara. Girl, you walked the wrong way. Yep, that's a hit, that's a kill. Zagara down, first blood in game number 2 goes to Team Serbia. All the way at the top. Falstad, yeah, not aggressive at all. I mean, he didn't fly into the fight, he literally flew between the heroes. Samuro saves himself. They're trying to go for the Fruit Fly here, but damn, the blue team is just continuing with the same aggression that we saw in game number 1. It paid off for them then. This is a very different map, of course, but they are still trying to follow the same modus operandi. They're just coming in with aggressive plays, looking for kills, and applying pressure wherever they can. B steps from Ophia. I like it. Yep. All right. That's exactly what we need here. Awesome stuff. Yeah, the Brazilians were super happy to play in the tournament so far. They were saying that they had a lot of fun on the first day, even though Germany was a bit brutal. But yeah, they're definitely enjoying themselves. So the occasional B-step is always welcome here. I never understood, by the way, that there are people that are getting annoyed by this, or say it's BM. If you have a little bit of good banter going on with your opponent, that's always nice. So yeah, shout out to SortaSim over here. And just the Brazilian team in general, absolutely awesome that they signed up for the event and that they're playing cross-server. There's obviously time difference that also kicks in for them. Good to have them here, and yeah, maybe they are able to turn this series around, who knows. For now though, it's an attack against Rexa, but main tank Misha is able to push them back. So far, so good. Now the first 2 seats have been taken by the blue team. By now we're having the third starting up on the right side. The Brazilian team is on the same amount of experience at least, so they're doing pretty okay here when it comes to levels. They're not falling so far behind. I mean, the problem in game number 1, or one of the problems, was that once that the blue team hit level 10, Team Brazil was essentially 2 levels behind. It's a huge gap, and trying to bridge that and catching up is difficult, and they were never able to make that happen. Zagara dies again, which is of course a big setback since they're fighting for the next seat here. But they could be in a position where they can delay long enough for Zagara to come back. Death timers are still low. Not if they're losing more heroes though, and that's exactly what we're seeing. So Rexa is getting killed too. And that is likely the first set of Garden Terrors. Ophia is not able to interrupt this. And there they are. Garden Terrors are in. And Ophia gets run down. But, oh, there's the kill against Arthurs. I mean, hashtag worth it. Arthurs just moved in and said, boys, I got this. And, well, they did. So now they can start to threaten the fort in the middle. They have Siege Giants that push here as well. As predicted earlier, by the way, yes, we got Rune Tap on level 7, so he's following the standard build for that particular setup. On 7, we have the taking flight now from Rexa, and the push through the middle should deliver the first fort to Team Serbia. They have the Inspire buff triggered, obviously, on the entire minion wave that pushes in here, so even more damage thanks to the movement and attack speed bonus that is granted. Arthurs with the army, no Syndragosa. I actually expected them to be aggressive with Syndragosa against this, but he's going full survival. Whereas Zagara does not go macro play. Instead, we get the wombo combo attempt. More into Eternal Feast is what they're trying to set up. And then we have Blade Storm for Samuro. 2 forts destroyed in total. The top fort was also eliminated. Zagara now trying to counter pressure. 4 kills to 1. And the structural damage, that's obviously the real problem. That's pretty huge. So right now we're having the next aggression happening with Ophia slowly starting to, I mean, you can't even say this is defending. She's just trying to nibble a bit on the edges and saying like, boys, you need to move back or we're going to send more forces in to try and take you down. There comes the double more. I mean, maybe. Give me that ult, Ophia. Oh, they can't get that kill. They got close, but both of the squishies escape. Now the gas, the apocalypse, everything thrown in. And it's Zagara again that dies. Zagara is down. They're making the move for Ophia, and they take her down too. So that's 2 immediately eliminated. Instantly, the fort at the bottom of the map gets crushed, so that one's gone. Top side, Samuro is all alone and is starting to push here. As we have, well, everybody just trying to move around. 7 kills to 1. A little bit of a roll into the middle, catching the experience here for the blue team. One of the big problems, obviously, that we have on the side of Team Brazil is that by now Falstad is sitting at 110 stacks already. He's 40 shy of his second quest reward. That's a huge damage improvement that he would be able to get. And yeah, this is gonna hurt. Falstad is taking advantage of the map, of the size, and is also claiming now camp after camp. In the meantime, we have top sides, Raptor and Freak doing their thing. The 2 of them together, just controlling the minion waves. And if you just look at the minion experience, that's where the red team actually does better. It's one of the reasons why they're not that far behind in experience. So more aggressive plays as a team from Team Serbia as they are roaming the map. That gives a chance to Team Brazil to keep up with experience. But when it comes to team fighting, then as you would expect, it's dicey. So right now we have a quick pause here from the Brazilian team. Actually, I hope that nobody disconnected. It seems that Ofia actually dropped out of the game. So hopefully she'll be back in a moment and then we can continue and see if maybe the red team finds an angle to bring this back. Alright, so he's back to business. Apparently just a quick disconnect and Sodasim is already back in the game. Well, the problem for them is that they're starting to lose a bit of map control. Samuro is doing his best to push the lanes out and be aggressive and annoying, which is obviously his specialty. But the team in blue is still ahead by an entire level and is starting to take more and more mercenary camps and trying to push for keeps. Not a single fort has been eliminated by Team Brazil yet. And Falstad is always threatening to become this absolute damage machine and monster that we all know he can be. So right now we're looking at determination for Ofia, the push through the top. And, well, as it stands, we have the attack coming in at the top side. Starting to go again with the Apocalypse for another engage. And, yeah, they're dropping onto Diablo and take him down. Good kill here from Team Brazil. Job well done. So that nets us a second kill for the red team and also a much better defense, since this could have been a dangerous attack on the keep, but they were able to stop it. Falstad in the middle, trying to get some extra stacks. Again, he wants to get to the second quest reward here. 7 kills to 2, and level 16 obviously up in the air. In total, the red team has, the blue team has already taken 4 seats, by the way. Oh, they really want Samuro, don't they? I mean, yeah, they really do. But Diablo's diving out deep. He obviously had his stacks together when he died at the top right, but now we're looking at him not having a completed baseline quest, which makes this a little bit more difficult. 133 stacks for the birdie. Falstad still active on the lane. Should really help the team out here. And does now as they're turning this on Misha. But in comes the attack against Arthas. And Zagara is the last one that hits him hard and drops him. Arthur's gone. Misha the counter kill. But the first seed finally for Team Brazil. They're level behind, but they're doing what they can to get back into the game here. Level 16 talents are now in for the blue team. That gives us, amongst other things, also the Airy Gust right here. And full-on spec, by the way, into the trade build for Arthas. He's sitting currently at 19 stacks on level 1. Boosts his damage, obviously, a bit. But now with the second charge and everything else, we could see him snowball that very heavily. On 16, moving into Frostmourne and Feats, for example. So, we'll see how that works out. But on the damage side, we have 26,000 for Junkrat. Top damage dealer on the team, for now at least. Whereas Ofia is the top dog in the game itself. 34,000 here for Brazil. Now, a couple of siege giants that they can still claim. Experience is needed if they want to fight for the next seed. And of course, it's also a bit of a problem that the only real global hero on the map, is pushing at the bot lane and could push this out even further. But Brazil, they want the second seed. They want to take an advantage here. They want to potentially move towards Garden Terror for themselves. 16 talents are in. That gives us the thrill of the hunt for Rexa. And we're getting for Zagara also the Corrosive Saliva, which is of course fantastic against specifically Diablo, but also Arthas. Interrupts are already happening here. Attack over up at the top. No channel happened just yet. And Diablo gets attacked now. Same true for Arthas. Both of them have to be careful. And another drop from Ofia. This time, really unlucky timing here. In the middle of the team fight, Ofia drops and Brazil pauses the game again. Ofia back and the fight immediately continues. Arthur's just sitting tight as Diablo makes the engage on Rexa happen. It's Samuro that's in even more trouble though. And now Falstad flies in, gets the Gust. The Maw just a tad too late to catch him here. Definitely a bit of a problem with the ping disadvantage here as well, as Rexa gets killed. Ofia dropped into the APOC and gets murdered as well. The Riptire shreds the Fruit Fly to pieces. Brightwing is gone. Zagara, one of the few survivors, as the blue team is able to take victory in the team fight and take down 3 heroes. 11 kills to 3, a 2 level advantage. Well, let's call it 1.5. And there's the second seed now in their hands. Nicely done. 188 stacks for Falstad, by the way, so he already has a second quest reward. Is definitely starting to push the auto attack damage in all of these team fights, and is now slowly moving towards the big pinnacle reward at 300 stacks. But even now with the second quest reward, his single target damage is absolutely massive. So he is becoming more and more of a threat to those frontliners. Down at the bottom of the map, we have Junkrat currently still doing his thing and holding the lane, also picking up the next camp. Seed is spawning, and honestly, with Samuro dying in the mid lane and the Seed spawning on the side of the blue team, this should be another set of Garden Terrors for Team Serbia. They're in such a good position to close out the series and win this with a 2-0, and we'll see if they can pull that off. Attacks are happening. Right now, we have Raptor dropping the army and starting to engage. Down at the bottom of the map, Punisher is going to channel, and yes, Garden Terrors are going to be inevitable here. It is a second objective for the blue team. Team Serbia, they're doing great here. They were able to take down Team Norway with a 2-0, not dropping a map, and now it seems that they can do the same thing to Team Brazil. If the red team can somehow bring this back, this would be a fantastic comeback, but they are falling farther and farther behind. They're losing control of the map. Level 20 is soon going to drop into the hands of the Serbian team, and as we already saw, the red team seems to have, at least from one of their players, some connection issues too. They keep getting attacked at the bottom of the map, and the defense is just struggling. Level 20 talents are available. Arthas comes in with Death's Advance, and they're advancing immediately. Diablo at the front gets another wall stun going as Sophia tries to drop her ult. The keep is already gone. In the middle of the map, we have another Garden Tower trying to take number 2 out. Misha is gone, and this is just brutal. In comes Serbia. They're trying the core. They're coming in with a 2-level advantage. Ending game number 2. Ending the life of Ophia as well. And that's all she wrote. Team Serbia is taking the second place in Group A as Team Brazil gets defeated on Garden of Terror and loses the best of 3 series with an 0-2. GG, well played.